Well, to speak on this story that's developing out of Tanzania and other related matters this lunchtime, we're joined by Advocate Sipho Mantula from Unisa's Thabo Mbeki African School on Public and International Affairs. Advocate, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here this lunchtime. Firstly, when we speak about Tanzania, and as the President was saying there, the role of that country in the fight against apartheid cannot be ignored. But there's been some interesting developments as well following the death of President Magufuli yesterday. The announcement that Tanzania's vice president is going to assume the role of the presidency. He might be sworn in today. That's Samia Suluhu Hassan. How significant is this?
Significance, Jumbo, Africa, Africa into the viewers across Africa. I think what is critical, understanding significance of Tanzania under the then Julius Kabarange Nyerere in the early 1960s in terms of the formation of the Organization of African Unity, setting up of OAU Liberation Committee, assisting South African liberation movements. But you look at the role of Tanzania in the past year of COVID-19. Tanzania was the chair of SADC. Tanzania has been instrumental as well in the region in terms of peace and conflict resolution. Now, with the significance of now having a first African female president in Tanzania, their own constitution allows that the vice president automatically becomes the acting or the caretaker president. Another important aspect about Tanzania, it is through their leaders like Benjamin Wahamukapa, who have passed on last year as well, Jakaya Waka Kikwete. So one can see that the role of Tanzania has been very broad in the frontline states, in the Organization of African Unity, bilateral between us and Tanzania. We will remember the APLA camps, the MK, your Solomon Khalushu Wahamasangu, they were all based in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Morogoro, as well as Dodoma.
Yeah. Now, President Magufuli, when you speak about his legacy, some people will point out that there's a lot of contradiction. Yes, he fought against corruption, but in the past year, around the coronavirus pandemic, he took some very questionable positions.
Definitely, he did take a tough stance. Others, they call him a denialist of COVID-19, as he was not even calling it coronavirus. One will understand that his ascendance to the politics began 26 years ago when he was the first member of parliament. Ascending again into the cabinet 21 years ago, those were the early years of John Magufuli. And if one looks critically on the health issues that affected Tanzania with this COVID-19, I think one has to look broadly on his views. And at the same time, having lost first the vice president in Zanzibar, those were the signs. And again, we saw the issue of his whereabouts being questioned by opposition parties. Again, that has caused another mixed legacy or a mixed contradiction on his legacy contribution. As you have earlier said, he was a bulldozer, that was the name he was given in 2015, when he was the first president who was questioning issues of public service, irregular expenditure on wasteful expenditure on national days.
Okay.
So if one looks at his legacy, it's a very complex one.
Okay, now from Tanzania, let's just go south to their neighbor Mozambique very briefly while I have you, Advocate, before we finish. About 8 days ago, American State Department, U.S. State Department classifying the insurgents there as foreign-based organizations and Islamist ISIS-linked. And we understand now that the U.S. military is going to get involved.
Definitely, and this is said because we were awaiting the SADC response team to come with a plan. They have named actually Abu Yasir Hassan as the ISIS Mozambique target as the terrorist. So the role of America, remember, the issue of the transnational oils in Cabo Delgado, that's where there is an appetite of this natural resource. And it is high time that the AU, the SADC region, must actually intervene in these matters, because once you allow USA, once you allow the French to come in Cabo in the area, there are now issues around not only the gas, but the issue of counter-terrorism that they are fighting, and the drugs that they've been peddling between the country we've been talking about now. Tanzania, Mozambique border of Cabo Delgado, it is another belt of the drugs as well as the belt of these terrorists that have been moving. So it's ISIS, Mozambique, it's ISIS, DRC, that the Biden administration is focusing on this counter-terrorism effort. So it is high time Africa must wake up from its slumber and focus on silencing of guns for the benefit of those people in Cabo Delgado.
Thank you very much, Advocate Sipho Mantula. This lunchtime, some of your insights there. Still,